I remember the quiet of that morning. The wedding was over, and I thought life would finally slow down. I sat on the porch, watering the flowers my wife once planted. Marigolds, roses, and a stubborn little cactus that refused to die no matter what. But that quiet, it was the kind of silence that comes before a thunderstorm. Because deep down, I knew Ryan wasn't finished. Have you ever felt that? When your gut tells you something's wrong, even before it happens. The front door slammed open so hard the walls rattled. Ryan's voice cut through the air like a knife. Pack it up, old man. This house isn't yours anymore. Behind him, the notary shuffled nervously, clutching a folder like it was a shield. And poor Claire, she stood there, wringing her hands, eyes darting between us. I could feel my blood boil, but I didn't shout. I didn't argue, because anger is what he wanted, and anger makes you sloppy. Instead, I leaned back in my chair, lifted my teacup, and said calmly, "Is that so?" That threw him off. He wanted to fight. Instead, he got silence. Ryan shoved the folder at me. "See for yourself. Signed. Sealed. You're done. You'll be in a retirement home by the end of the week." I flipped through the papers. Forged signatures. Fake documents. Sloppy, but just believable enough for someone who didn't know better. Claire whispered, "Dad, I didn't mean," he said it was just a formality. My heart broke hearing her voice. She was caught in his web. What would you do if your only child stood by while her husband tried to rob you? Would you forgive her or cut her out? I set the papers down and looked Ryan straight in the eyes. "Perfect," I said. "Let's go to the police station. They'll love seeing the evidence I gave them last week about you." His smirk crumbled. For the first time, he looked rattled. "Evidence? What evidence?" I took a slow sip of tea. "Fraud, forgery, loan scams. Oh, and that little incident with the investor you never paid back. Want me to list them all?" The notary went pale. He grabbed his briefcase and bolted out the door without a word. Ryan's face twisted with rage. Claire gasped, covering her mouth. And me? I just smiled. The next few days were chaos. Ryan ranted, shouted, and slammed doors. Claire cried every night. Neighbors whispered. And then the knock came. 2 officers, calm, professional, carrying folders. Ryan turned ghost white as they read him his rights. Now here's where I ask you, AITA? Was I wrong to go to the police before the wedding instead of trusting him? Some people say family should be forgiven no matter what. But what would you have done? Word spread fast. Small towns always gossip, and mine was no different. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Some praised me. Good for you. You protected yourself. Others whispered. Poor Claire. Imagine her own father setting up her husband. And the cruelest one said, he's just a bitter old man who couldn't let go of control. Tell me, does protecting yourself make you bitter, or does it make you smart? Claire finally broke down one night. She collapsed on the couch, sobbing into her hands. Dad, I didn't know. I swear I didn't. He told me it was for us, for our future. I thought he loved me. I held her hand. My voice was soft but steady. Sweetheart, real love doesn't come with contracts and threats. Real love doesn't sell your father's house behind his back. She cried harder. And in that moment, I wasn't just fighting for my home. I was fighting for my daughter's soul. Ryan didn't escape. The evidence was too heavy. Fraud, forgery, debts. His empire crumbled overnight. Claire filed for annulment. She moved back in with me, not as a child, but as a woman learning her hardest lesson. Ryan? He's wearing a jumpsuit these days. And me? I still sit on my porch, watering the flowers, sipping tea. Except now, I water them with peace of mind. The courthouse smelled like old wood and dust, the kind of place where history clings to the walls. I sat in the back row, cane in hand, watching as Ryan strutted in with a smirk, still trying to act like a winner. His lawyer whispered in his ear. Ryan sneered, glancing my way. I thought, he still doesn't get it. He thinks this is just a game of words. But this is his reckoning. When the judge entered, the room shifted. Silence fell. The prosecutor stood, calm, sharp, ready. Your Honor, we intend to prove that Mr. Ryan Matthews not only attempted to defraud his father-in-law, but also orchestrated a pattern of financial scams spanning 3 years. Claire sat beside me, trembling. I squeezed her hand. Now, tell me honestly, would you sit there, watch your daughter's husband fight for freedom, knowing you hold the evidence that could bury him? Or would you walk away? Piece by piece, the prosecutor laid it out. Bank statements, fake businesses, investors cheated out of thousands. And then the smoking gun, a recording. My neighbor, the retired cop, had helped me set it up, Ryan bragging on a phone call. The old man won't know what hit him. By next month, that house is ours, and he'll be drooling in a nursing home. The courtroom gasped. Ryan's lawyer fumbled. Ryan? His face turned the color of chalk. When it was his turn, Ryan stood up, full of fake confidence. This is all lies. He's an old man with a grudge. He hates me because I married his daughter. He pointed at me, voice shaking with rage. He set me up. The judge cut him off. Mr. Matthews, sit down. The jury stared at him with eyes that already decided. Have you ever watched someone dig their own grave with every word? It's almost painful, almost. It didn't take long. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty on all counts. Claire broke down, sobbing into my shoulder. I just closed my eyes, exhaling the breath I had held for months. Ryan screamed as officers cuffed him. You'll regret this. You think you won, old man, but you're nothing. Nothing. They dragged him out, still shouting, his voice echoing down the hall like a ghost. Afterward, Claire and I sat on the courthouse steps. The sky was gray, but for the first time in years, I felt light. Claire whispered, Dad, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. I put my arm around her. Sweetheart, it's not about listening. It's about learning. And now, you've learned who he really was. She nodded, wiping her tears. For the first time since her wedding, I saw my daughter again, not Ryan's pawn, but my Claire. Now, when I sit on my porch, watering those stubborn flowers, I think about what happened. I think about how close I came to losing everything, not just my house, but my family. And I think about Ryan, sitting in a cell, replaying every mistake. So what do you think? AITA for setting the trap, for gathering the evidence, for letting him walk right into it? Or was I simply protecting myself and my daughter? Tell me in the comments. Because in this life, sometimes survival looks a lot like revenge. It didn't take long before the letters started arriving. Ryan had access to paper and ink in prison, and he used them like weapons. The first one came 2 weeks in. Claire, you don't understand. Your father set me up. He's a bitter old man who wants to control you. If you love me, you'll wait for me. I'll get out, and when I do, we'll take back what's ours. Claire read it at the kitchen table, hand shaking. She shoved a letter at me. Dad, what should I do? I looked her in the eyes. Sweetheart, sometimes the best answer is none at all. We burned the letter in the fireplace. The paper curled into ash, and with it, parted his hold on her. What would you do? Would you keep the letters as evidence, or destroy them so the poison can't spread? Small towns have long memories, and Ryan's downfall was the juiciest gossip in years. His so-called friends? Gone. The investors he conned? Suing him left and right. His family? Silent, ashamed, pretending not to know him. I overheard one neighbor mutter at the grocery store. That Ryan boy thought he was slick. Now look at him. Can't con his way out of cell. And me? I walked past him, chin high, cane tapping the floor with each step. Because revenge wasn't about shouting. Revenge was about survival. About living free while your enemy rots. One day, Claire asked me, Dad, I need to see him. Just once. For closure. I hesitated, but I agreed. We drove to the prison together. Behind the glass, Ryan sat, thinner now, eyes hollow. The charm was gone, replaced by desperation. He picked up the phone. Claire, baby, you came. I knew you'd see reason. Listen, we can fix this. She cut him off. Her voice was steady, cold. No, Ryan, we can't. You tried to destroy my family. You tried to destroy me. And I won't let you." She hung up the phone. His eyes widened. He pounded on the glass, shouting her name. But Claire walked out with her head high. That was the day she truly became free. Months later, another letter arrived. This one wasn't to Claire. It was to me. "Old man, you think you've won, but prison isn't forever. One day I'll get out. And when I do, you better watch your back. Ryan." I read it slowly. Then I chuckled, because by then, Ryan's sentence had just been extended. More charges, more fraud uncovered. His one day wasn't coming anytime soon. I pinned the letter to the fridge, right next to my grocery list. A reminder that snakes may hiss, but behind bars, their fangs are useless. Claire and I rebuilt our lives. We planted new flowers in the yard, cooked dinners together, laughed again. One evening, as the sun set, she asked, "Dad, do you think people can really change?" I thought for a long moment. Yes, but only if they want to. And Ryan? He never wanted to change. He just wanted more. She nodded, finally at peace. Now, when I sit on my porch, Kane resting beside me, I think about what this story means. It isn't just about betrayal or revenge. It's about preparation, about knowing that trust is precious, and sometimes the people closest to you can be the most dangerous. So I'll ask you, am I the villain for setting Ryan up, for going to the police before he could strike? Or am I the hero of my own story, protecting myself and my daughter from a man who wore a mask of love? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've ever outsmarted someone who thought they could fool you, I want to hear your story too. Thank you for staying with me through every twist and turn of this tale. Remember, betrayal can break you, or it can make you sharper, stronger, wiser. And if you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, share it with someone who loves a good revenge twist, and subscribe for more. Because trust me, seniors like me, we've got more tricks up our sleeves than you'd ever imagine.